To POC or not to POC, that is a question. POCs are a great way to convince people that your solution is what the doctor ordered, because basically they get to use it. They get to use it in their own environment, their own technical stack. But it's not without risk, because POCs can be expensive when done wrong, and they can also be haphazard. Expensive and haphazard? Really? Yeah, really. If you have a product that is relatively complex to operate, so if it's simple, it's usually not a problem, but if it's fairly complicated, like most of my products have been so far, then it means that there's a risk that your customer won't know how to use it solo without you helping along. So you could find yourself in two different situations. One, the customer keeps on calling you, maybe on support line, and asking for help operating the product. So this is expensive. It's also called free training. It's actually quite expensive to deliver training in these conditions. The second option is for the customer to try to figure everything out, and then just in case that he does not, then he gets an image of the product's capability that is not up to par, that is maybe way worse than what the product really can deliver. And then you're getting judged on that perception. Now, one way that you can make POCs more predictable and more cost effective is not to provide them, but instead provide a souped up demo that essentially takes you by the hand and shows you the different capabilities and facets of your solution. In some cases, that can be the right call. Unfortunately, in my case, again, I've been repping products that are fairly complex, and people want to see them in their own environment. So having a demo that is just taking people by the hand and saying, please click here, please click there, it's not necessarily going to be that convincing. The other challenge will be that not all the solutions can be automated through HTML5. So if you have a web-based solution, a web-based dashboard, that's usually something that the providers in our industry will be able to deal with. Unfortunately, if you have an application, say a debugger, well, it's tougher. So in order to make POCs more affordable and more predictable, you could do a managed POC. That's something that I've been doing a lot, and I found them to be extremely useful in situations where your product is relatively complex. So first, you sit down with the customer. You negotiate what should be shown in order to demonstrate that the solution is going to be effective in their environment. You don't want everything from A to Z, because that will be too expensive. You want something lesser but still convincing. Then after that, you invest your own time. You put your money where your mouth is, and you implement that solution at client side. A lesser solution than the production one, but still convincing. And then after that, you let them play around for a few days, not 30 days, and make sure that they succeed, that they see it in action. Then after that, you come back and you say, okay, you wanted to see this, I demonstrated you this, can we go to the next step? This is what managed POCs do to your bottom line. First of all, it's much more predictable in terms of resources than the other ones if you have a complex product that you're trying to sell. Because if you have a complex product, people don't understand it, then suddenly they start calling you. That becomes a resource drain. While in the case that you engage in a managed POC, then you will scope the work to be done, and you're going to know that you need to invest that much in order to bring the customer to a certain point. So that's point number one. Point number two, it's much more predictable because you are in control of showing them the value that they identified as being critical to them. So that's a way to optimize the outcome while reducing resources. What's there not to like?